Hi guys, Dorota International nail artist and educator here, and today I have prepared for you awesome blue nails with one stroke, transfer foil and a little bit of bling. Really nice and elegant. Have a preview of them in here. I hope you will really enjoy learning how to achieve this look, and you will find the love to the one stroke the same way I do it. So let's start. I have done already the thumbnail and it looks so nice and pretty. There is quite a lot of stuff going on, but it's not over the top as well. So first of all, we are gonna actually start with those middle fingers, and I want to use the color 233, which is Symphony. We actually really love this color in a salon because it's like see-through, almost like a gel color, so really nice. And quite often we would just apply like a very thin layer over the natural nails for a French manicure, so it's a really useful color. I'm just gonna apply one layer of it and then cure it. Do the same on this one. And then cure it. We are also gonna do a slightly stronger coverage, like a 2 layers on the other 2 fingers. So 2 layers is gonna go over this one. And 2 layers over the pinky. Okay, when my tips are curing, I'm gonna grab this transfer foil set. So it's a Foil It Up Glam, and it has those amazing transfer foil. Now, the only trouble with those transfer foil is you need to get it into the right side, because if you're using the wrong side, it's not gonna transfer. And because it's see-through, you don't know if you are on the correct side. So I usually do like an test and just see it if it's going to transfer or not. If you want to go for a full coverage, you always need to use like a transfer foil gel, but you could also use an inhibition from the gel polishes if you want those kind of messy look. And I'm going to go for messy look. Check this side, doesn't transfer, which means it's upside down. And then I'm just doing those messy look, basically using the gel polish inhibition layer. So you wouldn't be able to get like a full coverage with this this technique, but it still gives a pretty nice and interesting results depending on the design you want to do it. Okay, so we got those nice coverage, and then do exactly the same on the other finger. Just to get this kind of like almost like a broken glass effect. And depending on the color you use underneath, you will get a different results. Okay, in the meantime, I'm just quickly gonna put the second layer over this nail. Just so we've got this nail bed color. And the same on the index finger. Okay, that's me. Almost there, happy with it. Let's cook it. And then move on into the next step for those nails. So we want to use a glitter which is called Disco Dolly. And actually, I cannot believe how amazing this glitter is. So I'm just applying this glitter on those nail. I'm not bothered about the free edge too much because we are going to cover it with the blue, but look how sparkly it is. And then give it a cure. And then apply it on the other one. If you want, like, if you're working with the glitter gel polishes, I'm gonna actually give you guys a trick as well. If you're working with the glitter gel polishes and you want them to be more glittery without of the bulkage, you could use a gel sponges, and gel sponges got like quite a big holes, so they do absorb the gel, but they leave the glitter intact. I'm gonna actually show you that in this one. So you can see it. My gel sponge has drinked the gel polish, but it did keep my glitter in there. So this way you get it more sparkly, like lots of more particles going on in here. Okay, and then we can take it out and apply top coat. Okay, so apply top coat over it. The reason for a top coat is glitter. We need to first of all protect the transfer foil, and then secondly, every single time I'm working with glitters, which might be like a little bit rough, I like to do it the top coat so I can smooth out the surface. Okay, same in here, just a top coat. And this step doesn't take overall this long time. I usually, this is kind of a tip like for the I find it that's like if I'm working with this technique, I don't have to like perfect the nails when I finish them. So which means like I wouldn't maybe buff it till perfection, because I know I will be buffing it a second time. So overall it would just take me exactly the same time with this extra buffing. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so just rebuff the surface and do it the same in here. Okay, so just a gentle buff. And I need a surface so I can actually paint the flowers, like so the acrylic paints like those nice smooth rough surface. So I will have to do this step anyway, even if I wouldn't be using the glitter. Okay, then clean everything and we can move on into the next step. So overall, I would say it looks quite complicated, but it is actually not that complicated set either. We are gonna grab the white acrylic paint. And when I'm squeezing the paints, I like to keep the baby wipe so I can kind of clean the tap and close it straight away. Okay, and then we are gonna grab some water, mine is a bit blue because I already painted some flower, and a 1-stroke level 1 brush. Okay, you can see it, I've got some blue paint in there, so I'm just gonna clean this off from my brush, and I'm using only water for it. Lots of water in there, and I'm just going into my white. Start mixing it on the one side of the brush and pick up even more water. So like I want very water consistency of my paint, like almost no paint, mainly just the water. Okay, and now I'm gonna do like a kind of almost like a wee stone look. So I'm just painting like a wiggly surface. A similar look what I've got it on my nails. I would paint it on one side, then in here paint again. It's very washed color, almost invisible. Second layer, so if we're going second layer, the things become less visible, like you're almost creating like a wee line in there as well. And then another one on this side. It looks pretty interesting, almost like a stones on the nails. Like I really love this technique. And each time when you cross over the same place you have painted previously, it becomes just darker and darker, like more pigmented with the paint. Okay, I am happy with this one, so I can move on into the next step. And I want to introduce some blue paint in here. So I'm just squeezing a small amount of the blue paint. And now I'm gonna start painting the flowers. So shape my brush again. On the one side of it, I'm gonna go for a white, and then on the shorter, the lower corner, I'm gonna pick up blue. Mix my paints well. This is too much water, I can already see it, so I'm just reloading my brush and mixing it again. Nice strong mix, like I don't want the colors to separate too much. And to be honest, it is all about mixing those colors. Like the better you mix the colors, the nicer results you will get. And my brush is really loaded with the product now. Okay, and I can start painting the flower. So this is gonna be my middle finger, and this one is a ring finger, and I'm trying to kind of see it. I will be using probably my left hand, so I want the flowers to touch, so I'm gonna paint them on these corners, okay? And first of all, what you want to do it is you want to paint the flower which is in there, so like a first petal, go to the top and then come down, do another petal, go to the top and then come down. They are really easy and beautiful flowers, and you could do it in any color. I have choose blue for a change. So another petal, then come to the top and then come down. Really, really pretty. And same on this side, we are gonna paint another half of the flower. So repick my paint quickly. Go to the top, then come down. This way you get like a really interesting shape of the petals. So paint there, go to the top, and then come down. So when you paint really fast, you don't see actually me lifting the brush up, but I do it, and I actually want you to know that, because quite often when you're watching those one-stroke videos, you don't see it. It looks like a hand shakes and then we're going and shaking and the things don't look as nice. Okay, so if I paint fast, you don't see it. Okay, that's, I'm lifting the hand up as well, but I do it. Now, in between those petals, I'm squeezing in smaller petals, nice and slow, so you leave lots of paint behind. And we can do a tiny one in here. Honestly, like for the look of those flowers, it's so worth it, like learn this technique, because they look absolutely amazing. Like so time consuming, but they aren't. Like once you get the technique right, you will see it. It is really not that time consuming, and you can paint an amazing flowers in a matter of a pretty short time. Okay, I'm just gonna clean my brush so the paint doesn't dry on it, and we can move on into the next step. So what you could do it is you could mix some blue, and I'm just gonna use this blue gel, a small scoop of it. So small scoop of that one. Well, let's actually do a bigger one, so it's easier. And then some white. So quite often, if I've got the empty pot, like you have seen it in a second ago, I would just add the drop of the color I want, and I keep them, I store them, like, so I would have a pink pot, I will have a blue pot, and all sorts of different colors. I'm picking up 2 scoops, and one is gonna be a pure white, and the other one I'm just adding to my blue, until I get the shade I really like. So I want a kind of medium blue, nice and wintry color. And we can move on into the next part of this design. So I've got my D-liner brush. And straight away, I'm just gonna paint some sort of, not a French, but like give it some sort of color into my tip. And then just color it in. And then give it a cure. Okay, do the same on this one. So there is acrylic paint underneath. That's why I have to paint slow where my kind of smile line is, because I've got two different textures in there. So I've got some acrylic paint and I've got some glitter underneath. So paint it nice and slow, smoothing it out. And then give it a cure. Okay, let's go to the other tips which we have done. So we've got one and we've got second one. Clean my brush and I can move on and paint another part of this design. So I want some part of this nail to be white, and to make my life easier, I'm just gonna grab a watercolor brush, so it is gonna be faster because it's much bigger. Clean it. So just on the wipe, like make sure there is no flaps and dusts. Pick up the white, and then we are gonna just paint like I would say half of the nail in white. So doing so with the T-liner brush will just take us ages. I'm not too bothered about the top line because we are gonna put some crystals in there. Okay, and then give it a cure. Or maybe a flower. Oh gosh, I don't know. I've got dilemma now. Okay, I will see what I will do. So half of this, like bigger half. So we've got just a little bit of the nail bed color. And then give it a cure. Okay, the other ones are ready. So we can move on into the next step. And I want some white in there as well, just so the things go together. So clean my brush, and I had to pick up the white to be able to clean off the blue from it. Okay, otherwise it wouldn't work good. Go into my white. Quite often, guys, you have asked me how do I not get the blob on my brush. So when I'm picking up the white and I want to paint the thin lines, I would kind of drag the product like this. And this way you don't get a blob on your brush. And now I'm just painting around my blue. Full concentration on. And then do it around the cuticle area. So I'm trying to use like as much brush body as possible. Like if you paint it with the tips, things take quite a long time. So I'm trying mainly to the full body. Sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, and then give it a cure. Do the same in here. So again, pick up my white. Go around it. So I've got still this tiny bit of this rough surface. So when I'm painting, I'm trying to make sure it is like as even as possible. Once we put the top coat, the things will smooth out. Just gonna grab more white. Clean my brush so it's loaded properly, because sometimes when you've got too much product on your brush, like it is not gonna behave. So I pick up a drop of the UV cleanser, guys, and then remove the excess of the product so I can reload it again and again try to drag it in so I can get a neater pick of the product on my brush. And another thing is like to be able to get those kind of even-ish line, you want to have even pressure. Like if you press harder, you will leave more product behind. That was a blob I picked, clean it off. And I think this is a really important thing when it comes to painting with the gel, that you do really want to have the same pressure when painting. Okay, go around it. Tiny bit thicker. I actually quite like this white. And I cannot wait when we put the top coat, because that's when our flowers become live. And then cure it. Okay, let's do the other two. So I want to introduce some blue so the things goes together, because at the moment they don't go together at all. So clean my brush again, and now we are gonna add some blue. Okay, try to twist it so it's more rounded like it does look on the other tips. There we are, we got that sweet point. And then color it in. And on this one, I'm gonna go opposite. Do those twists. And then to make my life easier. So I had still some white on my brush, and what you notice is I went into the darker side of my blue, just because I still have those white on my brush. This is so much faster. And more even because I'm doing less lines. Let's cook it. Okay, next step. So what we've got in here, we need to put some gems over it and and do other bits and pieces. And I think I'm actually gonna paint some flower as well over the other ones because it looks so pretty. So to be able to paint the flower, we'll need to apply the top coat, but let's maybe finish those ones first. Base gel, just a drop of it. And then we've got those awesome gems. So take my brush and place a decent amount of the base gel here and there. Okay, I'm not gonna place the pearls because they are too, we are too close to the edge, and I usually try to avoid something which is overly too big in that place. So I've got some caviar beads and they are tiny. So what I'm doing is I'm just picking up some random amount of the caviar beads and just place them in the middle of my flower, and that looks so pretty. Let's freeze it and do the same in here. So just pick up a random caviar beads. And because they're so small, even if they stick out a little bit, it's not that big as a pearl, but it still looks amazing. And then let's freeze it. And then this one is ready for a top coat. So I'm just grabbing a high shine no wipe top gel. And you can see it, there is a part where we can see the glitter really clearly. And then the parts where the glitter become like, almost like a stone, like is covered with it. The one stroke flower looks absolutely fantastic and amazing. I'm going to make sure the caviar bead stays in. And then we just smooth out the blue. Happy with this one, so let's cure it. Then do the same in here. I love how those flowers turn it out really pretty on the nice background. Checking how the things look so they're nice and smooth. Cook it, and then let's do something nice in here. So to be able to paint the one stroke flower, I would need to top coat it. We are gonna do it at very minimalistic and then stick some crystals in there as well. Or we could just do crystals. Oh no. No, I need to paint this flower. I love it. I love those petals and I want to show you it with the flowers. So top coat this one. Buff it quickly. Clean it and then go back to my one stroke level 1 brush. To paint some flowers. So reshape my brush again. And I'm opening up the paint because it did start drying out a little bit. So I had to kind of, you can see it, I have to move it because there is like a dry surface on top of it. Find a clean space. And I want more blue with almost no white in it. So we are gonna make it almost all blue. This is a really amazing amount of the paint I've got on my brush. And now we are gonna paint it over white. That's why I wanted to have more blue. Otherwise this flower wouldn't be that visible. Okay, quickly do the same in here. And then we can decorate it with the gems. So the flowers, you want to keep them nice and small. Reload my paint. In the brush. So nice, good, decent, clean. So normally for a first layer, I'm not too bothered like about my brush, but when I'm painting the second row of the petals, I want always like an as clean mixture as possible with my brush behaving nice and being properly loaded. And I think this is like when we paint very easy flower, it doesn't matter. The more complicated it is, the more nicer mixture you want to have. And now I'm just going to place a petal inside it, not so much smaller petal inside it. Just so it stands out like more. Perfect. Okay, we're done with this one. We need some gems again. So base gel. And we are gonna do a few different things in here. So one is those caviar beads in the middle of the flower. And then freeze it. I'm so clumsy because I don't want to damage my best brush for the gems picking. Like, so usually for a caviar beads, you want to use kind of old brush. You don't want to be pushing with your best brush. So I'm very careful with it. Okay, and then base gel again. And we are gonna do a crystal placement in here. This is so tempting, but it's quite large and we are not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go for these crystals because they look awesome. Like they almost like kind of bluish color. And we will do it 3 different sizes with some caviar beads. So oh, that's so pretty. Oh wow, I love this one. Cameraman is yawning because we are going into caviar beads. Yeah. Like he is yawning so badly. But that's always looks so pretty. Like so pretty. I know it is fiddly, very fiddly, but it looks amazing. Yes, I love it. I love it so much already. Okay, bring in more base gel. So if your crystals doesn't want to stick in, you need to bring in more base gel. And then a very important thing is, so normally I wouldn't go too close with the crystals to the Gosh, do I want it? Actually, yes, I want it like this. Wow, yes. So we have created quite nice shape. You don't want to bring the crystals too close to the nail folds, because then, first of all, they give it really bulky appearance when you're taking the pictures. So what I'm doing now is I'm swapping for the caviar beads. And right at the end, we are just gonna add couple single caviar beads. So this line is nicely blended with the crystals. You could also paint it very neat and do like a chrome or do glitter, foil, yes, anything. Like I just wanted to do it crystals, so I'm just tidy up my line. Oh, this one turned out blue.
It's lucky.
That's lucky. No, that's cameraman. He's yawning because I'm doing caviar beads. So I never rush my caviar beads because I want them to be nice. Let's cook it. I actually like this set, like, I mean, because of the colors of it, it's really wintry. You could also put a snowflakes, like incorporate snowflakes with the flowers as well. I just don't want to do too many snowflakes to don't keep you bored. Okay, so this one is smaller, so I'm not gonna go with this large crystal. Oh, actually, maybe, yes. Just do it the same, then we'll just put less caviar beads. And again, drop more. Okay, place the middle ones higher, like as high as you can go. And some single caviar beads. I love this color of the gems for this set. I think it just goes perfect. And here too, don't annoy cameraman, we are just gonna place single caviar bead.
There's no more space for it.
No more space. I could squeeze it in, come on. Okay, those two are ready. So you can see it, like, I love it how interesting it is, like, because we've got some parts which are kind of hidden a little bit and then some parts which are showing off. It goes in there. Then let me top coat it. At the same time, when I'm gonna placing them there, I'm gonna keep top coating this one. So I usually avoid, I love how this flower looks as well on the white. Like, I think it's pretty nice. Something slightly different I wanted to show you guys. So I'm trying to avoid the top coat from the crystals, like, but I'm always top coating my caviar beads. And if you're struggling to do so with the large brush, just swap it to the small brush and work in between. But each time when you're applying the top coat, like around the crystals, I love this one. This one is so delicate and so pretty. So each time when you going around the crystals, I'm going to show you here where I've got the caviar bead. The top coat might not look nice, so you want to kind of like make sure you go there, leave your top coat underneath of crystals, and then you smooth it out. Okay, so at the end you have to always smooth the top coat out and check how it reflects the light. And look how pretty this symphony color is. Like, we, as I say, we use it a lot in a salon, on the natural nails as well, like when the clients want like a French manicure, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. And if you would like to grab that color as well, like we do post internationally on our website, which is listed in the description of this video. So let me just place those amazing set. I love these flowers, like so pretty. Okay, this one is ready as well. very delicate, and I like that we have put some white which just goes together with it. I'm always clumsy at this part because I don't want to touch too soon my top coat, which is quite often under cure a little bit. I kind of tend to cure them fully after we finish the video, to don't waste your time, guys. But that's the set which we have created today. Really nice and pretty wintry look. And I hope you have, guys, really enjoy it, learn something new as well. And we both sending you huge glittery hugs and see you in the next one. Bye.